All right, welcome back to the third part of this class, Planner's Gonna Plan, where I'm walking you through this. Now, this section is specific to the Multifaceted Woman's Planner, but if you are someone who's curious about business, feeling like you're gonna start one soon, or you've already started one and just need some help getting it into a daily practice, definitely pay attention to this section. This is the third part of the Multifaceted Woman's Planner, and this is the business section. And so in this planner, it's in the back, and we will just get started. And so this is where we start because, like I've said in multiple times, if you don't have a vision, you don't know where you're going. So taking the time to write these things down is what helps you develop a good life of planning, is just knowing the direction you should be going. And so here is the business section where you can really just write down the specifics about your business, your name, your slogan, put your why down here. Just having your heart connected to why you're doing this. Because if you talk to anybody when you're getting started in business, there can be days of discouragement. So to remind yourself of the why are you doing this? Why are you here? This helps you continue to push past on those difficult days. Your website, any of your social media addresses, and then the brand profile. This is just a small little exercise you can do if you've never done it. This helps with product development, content development, just knowing who you're talking to. So describe your ideal customer. Get through and think about who they are, their age group, their problems, their likes, their dislikes. Who are they? Who are you speaking to? Why is this business? Who is this business for? And then your brand, mood, and colors. This is just, if you're like me and you love colors, this is just a place where you can really solidify, hey, what aesthetic presentation do I want to have? How do I want to be communicated on social media? So this way, you're not just picking, a different graphic every time you post, and you're not just going from pinks to blues to yellows. That you can create this cohesive image to move forward with. And so creating your brand, mood, your colors, maybe some fonts you like. This is just a place to really just dream and envision how do you want to present yourself on the internet, any physical engagements you do, in-person things, all of that. So it's just an exercise sheet for you to do if you've never done it. And over here, this is just walking through as you're creating a business to develop your mission statement, your vision statement, and your value statement. And so just a quick overview of these is the mission statement is really like, who is this for? What does your company do? How do you do it? And so what does your company do? How does your company do it? Why does your company do it? That's how you develop your mission statement. Quick Google search, you can look more into it. I just wrote like a brief one. And again, this is more if it's just a solopreneur opportunity or endeavor, this is more just for you to continue to keep yourself focused when you're tempted to get off track, or if you're somebody who dreams a lot of different dreams and thinks a lot of different things. This really helps you to filter your thoughts and your ideas through a specific path and allow ideas to get refined that they're most beneficial for your ideal customer. And so I create products and services that empower women to live out their call. Everything I do is about helping women live out their call. And so that's my products, such as this planner, my services, such as coaching opportunities. That's really what I do. Vision statement, this is your why. This is the common goal. Where do you want this to go? I want eventually to create an organization that builds women up to live out their authentic purpose from every angle. I want to speak to the moms, to the wives, to the mothers, to the caretakers. I said mothers twice, sorry. But speak to, these women, such as yourself, such as myself. I want to create an organization that empowers women, that utilizes women and their gifts and talents, and really helps women get out and serve their community, serve their world. And so that's ultimately my goals, my vision, where I want this to go. And then the values, when you create your value statement, it helps you to stay authentic to your purpose. And so as you understand what you value or what value you offer to others, maybe your business is, one of its values is being family owned, so that means you're not going to go out and do things like from from a broad manufacturer perspective, that you pride yourself on being, created out of your own home. If that's your value, you stick with it, and that's what differentiates you. So whatever the unique values are to you, again, this is what helps you to stay true to what you really see and stay true to the vision of your company, your brand, your idea, your nonprofit. So creating your value system is just another exercise that allows you to have clarity as you get ideas, as you make decisions, that you've already got your values written out and understood, so you can make better decisions and more productive and fruitful decisions. Then we have the year at a glance, but this one is for your business. And so I have here, use it to plan out your year's themes, holidays, releases, etc. So this is, again, an exercise you can do to think through your year. So obviously you can put out the different holidays that happen in a year. If you do a quick Google search, there is a ton of national holidays that are out there these days. There's like a holiday for every day if you want it. And so, you can look through those: National Coffee Day, National Walk Your Dog Day, National Ice Cream Day, all of those, and the ones that are relevant to your business and your idea, you can write them down and you can create offers around those days or post around those days that create engagement. There's a lot of ways you can use that, but this is a way you can look at your year at a glance. What products are you offering? When do you want to do new launches? When are busy seasons for you to create your products with, or to run special sales? If you're a swimsuit company, obviously summer is your best months, So just looking at what time frames are best for your products and your services, or what's going on in culture, in the world, that you can push your service for, that you can push your product for. Obviously planning around school time and the beginning of the year are hot moments for planners. If you're a sweets company, Valentine's Day, around the holidays, around all these special occasions, graduations, just finding ways to capitalize on moments that you can really create services and products and offers for. And so this is just for you to think through, how do you want your year to look when it comes to releases, launches, marketing, all of that. Just any relevant dates for you from a year's point of view. And then business goals. Again, this is just a place for you to write out, like, where do you want to be in 1 month, 3, 6, 12, and beyond. But also a place that you really write down what are the actions you need to take to reach those goals. Because they don't just happen automatically. And so you have to take time to get the clarity on what your goals are, and then what are some action steps. And this is what creates clarity for your days. So you're not just trying to pull from everywhere and do whatever, but you're beginning to create a system of how to build on top of vision. And so just taking the time, this is just an area to exercise. Again, when you write goals down, they happen all the much faster. Or more solidified. You have a better chance of goals coming to pass when you write them down versus not writing them down. And this next section is the sales planner part. And so this is if you have products or services and you're looking to grow in your sales. Also, just to measure and track so you can continually see where you're at, what are strong points, are things going the way they should. So as we make the goals from this section, we can begin to place them into our sales planner. And so, $1,000 is a good goal to start off with, depending on where you're at and the price of your product and things like that. But, maybe you're starting off in sales and you're setting yourself a goal to make $1,000 a month. And so I just want to walk through using this planner if you've never seen one. When I used to work retail, I would use this just to measure, are we reaching goals? Are we behind? Are we ahead? You want to create systems of measurement for you so you can kind of see if you're growing or not, and maybe you need to make changes so you can grow. So here, a month goal. So that we're just going to say we're looking to make $1,000 a month for products this month. And so what you would do is take your month goal and divide it by 30 days. That's the average day. Obviously, February is a little different. And so $1,000 divided by 30 days is $33 a day. And so again, this helps things become more realistic too, because instead of trying to just make a generic $1,000 a month, Now you're looking at, I just need to make $33 a day. So maybe you sell t-shirts, and your t-shirts are, you make a profit of $10 each, or you're selling them for $15 each, and you go, okay, to make $33 a day, that's about 2 t-shirts a day, or 3, depending on your prices and what your goals are. And so $1,000 a day divided by 30 is $33 a day. And so what I would recommend doing if you're getting used to this, is to just start with the first week. I went ahead and pre-filled out a month, almost a month, almost a whole month. But I would start with the week. And so, you say $33 a day. That's the goal. And then here is where you can go back and plug in your sales. So whether you do this at the beginning of the day and you record the previous day's sales, which would be easiest to keep up with, or you can do it a week at a time. But let's just say, for sake of recording, that we're looking at starting from the next day. So on Tuesday, I would look at Monday's goals, or Monday's sales, and I would put in, okay, I sold 1 planner. My planners sell for $40. And so you put this here, $40. And then let's say on Wednesday, I plug in Tuesday's sales. On Tuesday, I sold $40. Thursday, I didn't sell anything on Wednesday, so I'm putting 0. On Friday, I plug in Thursday's sales. Again, I didn't make anything, so that's a 0. And then on Saturday morning, I sit down and write down what I sold for Friday's sales, and I sold $80. So I sold 2 planners on Friday. And then on Sunday, I write down that I sold 1 planner, $40. And so here, you wrote your goal down of $33 a day, so that would be $231 for the month. Now, you go in and you total your sales for the week at the conclusion of that week. So this is happening a day later than the sales day. You always do it the day after. And so you start here and you total up your sales. 40 plus 40 plus 80 plus 40 is $200. So you missed your goal by $31. Now, how you would plug that in to help recover and to continue to stay on track with your financial goal is you would take that $31 from this difference between $231 and $200, and then we're still at the goal of $33 a day. And just for simplistic planning, I'm just keeping it very simple, you could just plug it into the first day of your week. And so you're looking at, you need to add on this goal of $31. So you add 31 to 33, because again, your daily goal is $33. And all you're doing is tagging in your deficit from the previous week, which is $31. So we're looking at a day that you need to do $64 in. So we're just adding on the $31 for the week. And again, you go through the whole process where you track your week's sales. So say I sold a planner, and then I didn't sell anything again until Saturday, and then I sold 2 on Sunday. And so here you do the same practice. This week's goal, because we added on that deficit, was $262. After my sales this week, I only made $240. So now I still have a $22 deficit according to my goal of making $1,000. So this is, again, after you've established what your difference is, and then you figure out a way to distribute it into your next week. So because these are smaller numbers, I'm looking at a $22 deficit. I'm just adding it onto the first day. But let's say you don't make any sales and you're in a $231 deficit. Well, what I would do is break that deficit down into the week. And then I would just add that extra onto each day to make it more attainable and to really bring it down into a bite-sized goal, that instead of looking at trying to make an extra $231 for the week, you're just trying to make 2 extra sales a day. And so we take the deficit, which was $22, and we're still sticking with the goal of $33 a day to make $1,000 for the month. So I take the 22 and I add it to the first day of the week. So now we're looking at a $55 day on Monday. And the rest goes back to $33, just to keep in line with realistic goals. And so here we see that, excuse me, we see that this week's goal is $253. And then you go through the whole process where you track your sales. And I sold 2 planners here, 2 planners here, 1 planner, 1 planner, 1 planner. 1 planner was a good sales day. So I actually went above the goal this week. But I'm still on track to make $1,000. And at this point, I can go back to my $33 a day according to the time I have left in the month. And again, it's not to say you can't be like an overachiever and you can't dream big and shoot for the sky. But when it comes to sales, you want to make sure you're planning realistically so you can set yourself up for success. So I believe stretch yourself, but stretch yourself realistically. So it's not realistic for me to put a $5,000 goal in if I haven't yet made $1,000. And so, I'm just going back to, hey, let's just reach for the 1,000 this month. So again, I just go back to plugging in the 33 and just repeating the process. But that's just a brief intro on how to use a sales planner. And again, I was just giving you the most basic introduction to it. You can get into more specific details and get into measurements and percentages if you want. But this should be sufficient if you're just getting started and want to really grow into your sales and track your sales. It's a good introductory. And so that's for the sales part. And there's one for every month of the year in this planner. And next up in this section is the project planner. And so this is because you're a dreamer, because you have ideas, and you need to take time to refine and develop your ideas. 'Cause sometimes that's the missing step to creating something worthwhile and that lasts and that you want to stick with because you've invested your time into really thinking it through. So the project planning section is for that. These are the projects you want to get started, whether it's a product, a service, a business goal, something that's beneficial to the overall structure of your business. And so I've used this for my website, for my mentorship programming, for my planner, planning about a planner. Isn't that fun? But I've used this. This is really just my place to dream and write things down and put out vision and go back and work the sketches. This is just where you can keep that. And again, it's the Multifaceted Women's Planner. And so this is a place where it's all there. So you're not looking for your notebook. Where did I write this note at? Where did I write this idea at? It's a place that you can really centralize your idea. So you can begin to develop in a holistic fashion that everything works together. And so, your planning and your inspiration is back here in this part for your business. So the project planner, we have the project name or the objective. If you need a timeline on it, maybe it needs to be done within 3 months, or you give yourself a goal, whether you're starting and you want this done by the next month or 2 months or by the end of the year, depending on the size of the project. You can put yourself the time goal here. And this, again, because I've told you I'm a fan of customization. I've given brief descriptions or small headings, but really it's up to you how you see best to use it. So we've got lines and then we've got the free space. So you can sketch, you can write your ideas, you can write your steps out. This is in general how I use it. So I'll write my list of ideas down here and then I'll begin to draw out how I see it coming together over here. I'm a visual planner. You may not be. But when I do pictures and lines and squares and separation, it helps me. When I color things in, it helps me. And so here, the project is my website, and just what the things I need to have done in it. And maybe this is my initial website launch. So I'll just put, it's January now. I'll put, February 28th, that I have everything done by February 28th. And the thing, I plan with the grace of God. And so I understand this is a more pressing matter, but I also am realistic about my time. And so it's not realistic for me to have a website out in 2 weeks because I'm aware of the demands on my time. And so I give myself grace to do things. And I just believe God that He'll empower me and give me grace to do things as I ought to do them. And so, it seems a little far out to have 2 months to get my website done. but that's a more realistic goal for me according to my time. Maybe you have the ability, maybe you have the skills that allow you to work faster. And so, you just think through things and pray about time frames and, go with the way he's leading you when you're creating goals too, or the ways that you need to do. If you know you need to have something done in the first quarter of the year, make sure you do it. But I wrote down I need to make an email list, so I need sign up pop-ups. This is just me kind of doing a brain dump where I just put out all the things I want on my website. So coupon pop-up, blog post, I need to have my first 3 products out. I need to have my service list and future part, because for me, if you're anything like me, the minute I start thinking about one thing, I start thinking about 200 other things. And so I start seeing where I want my website to be eventually. But you have to go through progression. You have to at least get started before you can add on all the bells and the whistles and, all the big vision. You have to start somewhere. And so I usually leave a section for me to dream forward, to dream ahead. So when it comes time for me to do phase 2 of my website, I have a place where I started writing down my ideas. Now, I do it in my planner, but I also do it in my phone. I keep up with ideas and things like that. But as you're thinking about your website and you're thinking about what does it take to just launch this time, you can put it over here, but then you start getting ideas like, oh, I'd like to have like a members only part, and I'd like to have, a place where I have a video or I have a course directly on my website. You start thinking about those things, but you just need to have your website done first. So just keeping everything in proper order. Here you can sketch things out. So I'm sketching out what I want my website to look like. I have a home page. I have a blog page. I have a shop page. What do I want my contact page to contain? So I just start sketching it out. And then down here you can write out your steps. Because the one thing about goals, the way I see it is when you think about a plane and it's got, all these people and contents and packages in it, the plane kind of looks like our goals. Our goals have a lot in it to unload once it gets to its destination. Once you complete your goal, it's got a lot to unload. It's got a lot to give. It's got a lot of things to deliver and transport, but it has to land somewhere. And so the way I see it is creating goals and breaking things down into smaller steps is creating a landing strip for your goal to land on, for your goal to really arrive and without using, not to use a new age term, but it's really biblical to manifest it, to bring it to pass, to bring it out of the idea space and into the earth. It needs some parameters. It needs a way to land. And a lot of times creating goals is what allows us to bring that big goal or that big dream into a space where it can actually happen. And so you're creating the smaller steps, you're guiding it. We have the air guards that will direct the plane where to land, and we have the landing strip and all of that. When you create goals and specifics, you're giving yourself the ability to land a goal. You're giving yourself the ability to see where you steer your big dream and how you land it on the earth. You take it out of the air and you put it on the earth. So that's really taking it out of this dream space, this vision space, and you bring it into the earth where it's to be used and beneficial, to be utilized. And so when you can take time to do your step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, you're giving yourself a narrowed point of view, how you can make this come to pass. Instead of it feeling so overwhelming and so big, you're giving yourself small steps to accomplish that move you forward consistently. So just taking time, be realistic. First steps are first steps. You can't you don't put a shoe on without putting a sock on. So make sure you're doing the basic things first, and then you move forward. Just being realistic, because sometimes people just get very ambitious in goal planning too. So I'm a fan of start with what's realistic and then build from there, because God will do the miraculous through you, will do amazing things through you, but we have to be willing to go through the right processes too. So yes, you can have the dream and the vision, but you gotta start. You gotta start with what's important. Don't despise the small beginnings. The next section is the business to do section, and this is more so just a place where you can do a brain dump as ideas come to you and things you need to do, and maybe you just need to write it down first. This is that section where you can just unload what you need to do for your business, and I'll show you next how you can again put this into a more narrow path. So here I even showed you how you can use stickers. And I even, look, this is how I do things. You can look on Instagram and people might be super aesthetic and, straight, and that may be you too. But for me, I put my stickers on crooked and I write bigger than boxes a lot of times. And I just wanted to give you that realistic, angle. Like, yes, some people, that is them. They're going to be in the line. They're going to be perfect handwriting. They're going to be very aesthetic and beautiful. But when it's your planner, you do you, boo. Like, if that's you, that's okay. Like, don't get frustrated if it's not pretty. If it's more useful than it is pretty, that's fine. If it's moving you forward more than it's, pretty, that's okay. And so, I just threw some stickers on, and this is me. Like, sometimes I put my stickers on crooked and I write outside the lines. But you can just really unload what is it you need to do. And this gets filled out throughout the year, according to your phases, according to where you're at in your business. And then how you can plug them in is this next section where we have the quarterly to-dos. And so, most often your quarters are going to be according to the first 3 months, or each 3 months throughout the year. But if you need to define it differently, you're welcome to. This is your planner. I didn't put dates on here. But most generally, we could go through January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You could normally do your quarters like that, but if you do them differently, that's fine. But this is where you can pull out your big to-do. So again, we're talking about the big generic idea, the big generic dream, vision, whatever it is you need to do. But then you start giving yourself timelines. And you can start plugging in like, okay, for product pictures, I need to have that done by February because I need to do that to finalize my website. For my Patreon, I'm not launching my Patreon until March. And so, that's a lower priority, towards the end of quarter one that I need to have all that done. But I'm seeing what I need to have done per quarter. This may be taxes, this may be launches, this may be business meetings, business structure, whatever your phases look like for you. But it's a way that you can, again, just bring it down specifically. And going through these exercises just allows you to be more clear on what it is you need done. Because getting started in business can be overwhelming. It's a lot of extra steps. And, we see people's success online, but it takes a lot of clarity. It takes a lot of intentional practices to decide and determine, what's best for you moving forward. And so this planner is really just that, for you to really get clarity and get progression in your goals so you can build well. Next up, I have a place where you can plan out marketing plans. So name of your campaign, whatever you want to name it, the goal of your marketing, what product you're going to be focusing on, what's your call to action when you go through that, how are you going to do content, what's your content consist of, is it a webinar, is it social media posts, is it a video, whatever your content is, just be writing this down, what's your budget, where you're going to market, what date are you going to market from. And then when you're done with your marketing, write your results, write down what you spent so you can continue to analyze your actions. So that's the marketing plan. I have a couple places for that so you can do some campaigns throughout the year. Next up, I have the hashtag sets and the keyword trackers. And this is just for you to, have some avenues whenever you're creating content. I have a friend who's taught me the term word bank. That, you can have this place to pull on when you need specific words because we're on the internet these days. More than likely your business is going on the internet. So how are people going to find you? Hashtags and keywords are those ways that people will find you. So hashtags are more so used on places like Instagram and other social media places. But they're also in Facebook groups too. If you're making a group and you want to start categorizing your content. So this is taking time to create different hashtag sets. Hashtags help you categorize your post, increase your engagement. They're what help attract followers and target audience to your content. So you want to find those niche specific hashtags. Get into the mind of your ideal customer. What are they looking for? What are their needs? What do they want? And create hashtags accordingly. You'll hear a lot of different research. Are hashtags dead? Are they not dead? I personally use hashtags to find things. If I'm looking for specific content, I'm searching by hashtags. So there's still people such as myself, and they're still useful for categorizing and for reaching your target audience. So they're here and they're part of social media world. So I would definitely encourage you to use them. Also, the keyword tracker. This is important for your content. So, places like your titles, your YouTube, your Instagram. If you want your website to perform better, it's something called SEO, something you could look into. Blog posts, Etsy listings, other e commerce places to list. This is your keywords that you want to use that make you more searchable and more useful to your customer. So, if they're searching for diamond encrusted dog collars, you want to make sure you create keywords accordingly. So, bling, dogs, pets, gifts for pets, all different things are trigger words and what they call, keywords, that when people are looking, your content is resonating with their search. Your content is connecting to what people are searching for. So there's all kinds of ways to look into that on the internet. There's apps you can add to your browsers. There's a lot of information out there developing your keyword, but these are ways for you to be visible online. Last two sections are just places to write out. If you're looking for a place to keep up with logins, websites, things you're paying for, things you're buying, usernames, up to you if you want to put your passwords. That's according if you think your planner is going to be in public places a lot or not. But your business subscriptions, also any legal places that you have licenses and renewals and different aspects for your business that you've subscribed to, you can put them here just so you can kind of remind yourself, hey, you signed up for this. If it's a coaching group, if it's a business subscription, a newsletter, all those things, just a place where you can put them. And affiliate accounts, it's a huge opportunity for income these days. So if you've signed up for affiliates, just a place where you can begin to track it as you develop other systems of organization, and you can put in what site you're an affiliate of, your username, your password, your affiliate code, just to keep up with, even as you plan content. Okay, I can create this content that points to this affiliate opportunity using this keyword. So these are just all things that's just like your little resource book as you create content, that you can create purposeful content and content that helps to continue to connect with your audience and also make you money. Lastly, just networking. If you run across pages, websites, people that you meet and you just want to separate them from your normal content, separate them from your normal browser, and you just want to make a note of, oh, this person, I ran across this person and she's really helpful in digital marketing. And so I just want to make sure I remember her website or her email, or I connected with this person at this event, and I just want to separate them off to the side. So I remember, hey, when I'm needing some help with digital marketing, oh, I have that person's website written down here. So it's just a place for you to create your own record of useful people, resources, websites, that are beneficial to you. So when you're in need of inspiration or you're having a blockage, but you met somebody that has what you need, you can go back and connect with them, whether it's personally or just via their platforms. So this is just a place to kind of create your business resources in here. And that's it. My bonus content. Not really, but I just wanted to throw a little coloring page in the back. So don't miss out on that. If you need a little stress relief, a little place to doodle, that's for you as you think through things and just meditate and ponder on where you're going and what you're doing. I have plenty of blank spaces in the back for you to write notes, keep up with thoughts, notes, whatever you may need back here. You've got some blank pages to use. But yeah, that is the business section in a nutshell. And I'm available by email, by social media. Reach out to me if you have more questions. I love to help people understand how to use it. I hope this content has helped you and has given you some steps and some direction on how you could get started using your planner. And yeah, come reach out to me on social media, on my email, and I'd love to connect with you more, and let me know if you have any further questions. But thank you for tuning in.